Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another DCU Daily. Along with the news and quick hits today. Well, it's just me for today. Dan is on a plane right now and Liz is unavailable. So you just have me today. You're stuck with me. Sorry, guys. But we do have a bunch of news to get into. We have some footage in regards to the new Stan Lee documentary. We have a whole bunch of, Superman at CinemaCon. We got some updates on Secret Wars, as well as going through a bunch of quick hits and the such. But after that, well, it's going to be another day of DCU Daily. But until then, let's put on that good old Ryan Gosling Barbie song and get into it.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number two.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
You're
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. And you're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chorus.
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the needs now?
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Anyway, hello, I'm John. Nice to see you. If I'm looking down, it's because the camera's like way up here and it's really awkward for me to like do that and then go back to here. So that's what, if I look awkward, I apologize. But welcome to the show, guys. Got some pieces of news, not a lot, mainly quick hits and a lot of DC stuff. So we'll be getting into all of that. First up, apparently the new Hacks Season 4 trailer came today, and we're gonna be preparing for the newest in the long line of this great show, been nominated for so many awards, but apparently Max has released the trailer for this, and it's going to be debuting with a dual episode premiere on April 10th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So all you Easterners, that would be 9. Yeah, I'm okay, guys, I swear. But again, the official logline for season 4 reads, tensions rise as Deborah and Ava endeavor to get her late night show off the ground and make history doing it. So yeah, it's pretty much what we've seen before. We've been talking about this before. A lot of big guest stars on this. We got we got a lot of people here. A lot of people. Bigger names like Helen Hunt, Tony Goldwyn, Caitlin Olsen, Christopher McDonald, as well as some other people that I don't know the name. Those are pretty much the only. I think I know Matt Oberg, but I really don't know anybody else. But that's okay. That's okay. But anybody who's watching Hacks, unfortunately, I don't watch it, so I cannot give you anything outside of that. But for everyone who is a fan of the show, get pumped for April 10th at 6 Pacific time. Caleb and Enterprising are in the chat right now. Hey guys, what's up? Yes, thank you, Caleb. You were not here yesterday. I am in a new location. For all you Enterprising knows what's up. He was here yesterday. But I am in a new location. My computer's getting worked on. It's not going to be available till Friday. So I'm going to be on my dad's computer in his basement, so you can kind of see all the weird stuff in my. I am actually in a basement right now, so now all the basement dwelling loser comments make sense. So I am officially in the basement. So that's how it'd be. Unfortunately, I can't really add much to this, but for all you guys, for all you Hacks fans, get pumped for that. I know Gene Smart's been nominated a couple times, but that's the extent of my knowledge. But you know what I am knowledgeable about Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan and Spider-Man, because he's going to be having not one, but two big movies coming out next July. Next July, like Julys for the next couple years, I feel like are going to be huge. So apparently we're going to have a Holland-a-thon to be the next quote-unquote Barbenheimer, even though we've been saying like 12 different like double feature marathons have been the next Barbenheimer, but haven't been. The closest being maybe Gladiator and Wicked, but like even then, that's not really. But the next Christopher Nolan and Spider-Man movie which will star both Tom Holland as Spider-Man and allegedly Odysseus' son. So that's not confirmed, but that's the most likely case. And it will be released back to back. It's not gonna be necessarily on the same day. It's just that Nolan's movie and Spider-Man's movie are going to be both confirmed for July 2026. So somebody down here in the comments was like, odd, man. But we don't know if it's going to be on the same day, but it is like fairly close. So, you know, we're going to have a big Tom Holland fun. So all you guys that are fucking sick of Tom Holland, get pumped, because you're going to see a lot fucking more of him. But I think this is great. I'm relatively excited for both movies. I'm not like super excited for the next Spider-Man movies. Batman operates in his basement and he's the coolest ever. Yeah, I gotta agree with Caleb. I ain't no Batman, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the compliment. I'm not Batman. I'm like, you know what I look like? I'm like if Bruce Wayne's parents were never shot and then the 2008 recession made them poor, and then they were like reasonably well off, but like not well off enough, not like super rich. That and then a Bruce Wayne. This is what Bruce Wayne would look like after that effect. Anyway, anyone can be Batman. Yeah, that's true, Enterprising, but you know, not everybody likes Dark Knight Rises. But or are you talking about Dark Knight Returns? Because both kind of had the same message, a little bit, kind of, sort of. Anyway, whatever. But though, speaking of Christopher Nolan and Batman, so we will be expecting this huge triumph next July. But yeah, that's relatively exciting. Like I really hope Spider-Man 4 is great. I know the Odyssey will be great. I mean, he hit it out of the park last time with Oppenheimer. So this is pretty awesome. I'm stoked for it. And if again, Christopher Nolan is one of the, and you know, I'm wearing my Spider-Man shirt. Christopher Nolan is one of the biggest pioneers of like bringing back the movie theater and bringing back that movie theater experience, all that. So it makes sense. It finally makes sense that, like, you know, he going back to back in terms of his films. So, you know, first he's got Oppenheimer and now he's got the Odyssey, which will be part of a big budget double feature that will get people back to theaters. So I hope so. And good news for Tom Holland. Tom Holland's, I think, relatively, I don't know if he's like, it's weird because he's like both overrated and underrated at the same. I think he's overused, but I think he's an underrated actor. It's just a shame that he's kind of typecast as Spider-Man, kind of like what Christopher Reeve was for Superman. But I wish the best for him. I hope Odyssey will be that big thing like Oppenheimer was, and I hope Spider-Man 4 is good. So that's all we can really hope for right now. But a big thing happening is that Stan Lee is getting a documentary. Well, kind of, sort of, but according to John Bolerjack, who worked with Stan Lee in the last 4 years of his life, is apparently he's, you know, releasing a whole bunch of information in regards to what happened towards the end of his life. And this guy who's on screen right now, he's accusing him of elder abuse and how Bolerjack at the time did not have a voice to really say anything in regards to the abuse, but now he does. So it's a whole it's the reason I wanted to talk about this was because it was Rob Liefeld. It was a cause for discussion, I think, and I'm curious with what you guys have to say, because there's people in the comments that are like, oh, he's finally getting justice for what happened here because this guy was apparently a piece of shit. And so John Bolerjack, not the guy here, this big guy, I don't know what his name is, he didn't reveal it in the trailer, but the long-haired guy, he's revealing all this information that Stanley was abused in the last 4 years of his life, and how he has a voice to do so. But the thing that's kind of weird about it, and well, I wouldn't say weird about, but it's like some people are saying that like, oh, he's finally getting justice, but then at the same time, people are thinking this is exploitative, because if you look at the trailer, he's asking for money, and people are like, well, why are you asking for money if you already have all this footage? But it could be for distribution, it could be to like do certain things to get it off the ground. And then there's the idea of oh, Stanley treated like his underlings like shit back in the day. I mean, that's pretty well known. Not Bob Kane levels of bad, but still not great. And so it's like people are like, oh, this is just karma for what he did to Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. This is all deserved. Karma's a bitch, blah, blah, blah. So there is that. So yeah, it's all just very, I'm curious what you guys have to say about it, because it's definitely cause for discussion. I'm on the side of reveal what happened so you could get this guy it's oh, hi Hosea, looking good, thank you. It's tough for me because like I kind of agree with you, Caleb. It can be seen as exploitative when you're asking for money to finish it, when it's just like you can I fucking do my videos on my channel for free. There's free editing software you can use. It's possible that distribution, but the thing is, you go to the distributors to get money to distribute your movie. Like, that's the whole point. And I'm curious, I would want to try and talk about this with Dan tomorrow, because I want another opinion on this, see what his is. Because on the one hand, yeah, it can be seen as exploitative, even though this guy's trying to bring this abuse to light. But at the same time, you're like still asking for money, which is also kind of abusing a man's memory. So it's tough, and there are good intentions there. I don't think this guy's trying to be malicious, Mr. Bolerjack, but I think it is kind of awkward to like do this. That's why I wanted to bring it to you guys, see what your guys' thoughts, and anybody who's watching after the fact, leave a long comment. Maybe we'll try to bring them in for tomorrow so we can like talk about this. I think this is a heavy discussion. I just wish I wasn't alone today so I could talk about it with someone like Dan, who when it comes to his analysis in regards to this stuff is very, concrete and well said, and Liz, who's a big Marvel fan. So I'm just curious, but I don't think it's karma, because somebody even mentioned this in one of the comments in one of the, I don't know if it was in the clip or in the trailer, but some people said like, even like Kirby and Ditko wouldn't have wanted Stanley to be treated like this at this point in his life. Yeah, this is what he said. Wes M6772. I get what the comments are saying, referencing what happened between Lee and his peers in the early days of Marvel, but I don't think Kirby would have wanted this for Stan when he was this old. I don't think he would have either. Like, grudges last a lifetime, but even then, I don't think Kirby was that much of a dinghole that he would be like, yeah, fuck, good. He's getting treated like shit now. I don't think that's even fair, and I don't think he would have said that. But, oh, Jose, I'm so sorry. You have the mumps. Jesus Christ. I didn't think the mumps were still a thing. Well, get better. Have lots of soup, lots of rest. I don't know what you need to do for the mumps, but get better. Yeah, no Lizard Dan today, Steven. Sorry. Enterprising, that is, I don't know what to think at this point. Conflicted at the moment. Yes, it's very conflicting. And you're like, I don't really know what to feel. But maybe we could talk about this tomorrow. I'm going to bring it up to Dan because I think this is cause for more of a discussion than just me talking about this. And to you guys who can't really have like a good conversation because there's only so many characters you can type in and there's only so many things. So yeah, obviously maybe you guys can come back later once you have like your thoughts like better. You guys can come leave a longer comment after this goes up. So I think, I think this is tough call, but I want to say that I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence right now, but I'm steering towards a little exploitative when it shouldn't be. So there's that as well. But that's enough said about that. Let's try to get into something a little bit more positive. The final thing, it was speaking of Marvel, Joe Russo is opening up about Secret Wars. So he's saying that the upcoming Avengers films, specifically Doomsday and Secret Wars, will draw inspiration from both the 1980s and 2010 Secret Wars comic book series. We always create our own version of a story. I think it's on the surface, it's obvious because that's what the MCU does. They take these stories and they refit them to their continuity, but also getting rid of the elements that would be too hard to film or too hard to do or something that wouldn't work continuity-wise, like the Fantastic Four being a heavy plot point in Civil War. But obviously you can't do that because at the time Marvel didn't own Fantastic Four. Well, at least Disney didn't own Fantastic Four. So it's a whole mess. But I think this makes sense. And I like how they're taking, I know Secret Wars, the 80s version and the 2010s version. I think the 2010s version, didn't that one get rid of the Ultimate Universe? Isn't that what it was? I don't remember. But I know the 2010s version did something really major. And then the 1980s version was pretty much used to sell toys. And that's where Spider-Man got his Venom suit. Although at the time it wasn't a Venom suit, it was just a black suit, but then they reincorporated Venom into it. So even though it was literally just there to one, sell toys, and two, so they didn't have to draw the lines on Spider-Man's suit. That's literally the only reason why they got the black suit. They're like, we don't feel like drawing the lines, so make it black. Paint it black. Follow the Rolling Stones. But I think this is really cool. I think this is... I'm not going to watch these movies because, again, I'm pretty much done with the Marvel outside of, like, mainly Spider-Man and a couple other projects that I'm kind of interested in. So, hello, Right Dude. Right Dude, I have some news for you later in our quick hits, so make sure to stay online because I have something that I think you'd like very much. So, yeah, I know, Caleb, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't Venom, just a regular black. It was just a black cloth suit, but then it retroactively became the Venom suit. Yeah, Caleb, Stan Lee didn't treat Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, and plenty of others that well in the prime of Marvel Comics. So, but yeah, but this is kind of cool. I think, I think for all the people that are excited for these movies, then awesome, great. I'm happy for you, but I think, I don't know. I just can't be excited is all, but I hope you guys are, because that means, you're You find joy in something I can't. So, yeah. I hope you enjoy that, guys. But we have something else for you guys. Maybe we can talk about it a little bit more. But for now, we have to get into the quick hits. We have to get into the fucking quick hits, guys. And the quick hits will be quick. I swear, Caleb. Because you're always like, 30-minute quick hits. Fucking time me on this shit. Once I fucking click on the goddamn music. Gotta turn down. Boom. And time me, Caleb. Because, boom. There we go. First things first, we're the realist. Anyway. But first, apparently Mufasa has a streaming date. It's coming to Disney Plus on March 26th. So all 5 of you that really wanted this movie, cool. There you go. Awesome. Congrats. Yeah, don't really care. But moving on to another Disney-owned thing, apparently the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again debuted with 7.5 million views on Disney Plus in the first 5 days of streaming, which shouldn't be a shock because everybody loves Daredevil. Even with the mixed word of mouth, it's still the biggest Disney Plus debut of the year, which isn't saying much because it's only March. But although I love Hedrix, the biggest streaming debut because it's the best thing Marvel has put out since Endgame. That's a low fucking bar. And then you have this guy that's just like, it was meh. So it was meh. I think we could all agree on that. Anyway, but apparently, speaking of Daredevil Born Again, we have this fucking showrunner that refuses to shut the fuck up. Apparently, people having concerns on Karen Page will have a limited presence, and he's saying there are things to be because it is this superhero world. Don't count everything out yet. There are returns that I think are surprising and inevitable. So I'm happy with the fact that Karen Page isn't like totally yeeted like Mr. Foggy Nelson was, but I still don't trust this guy. Because I feel like this was very spiteful. This was very, this was very, I don't know. That's my opinion on it all. I don't know. He just refuses to shut the fuck up. But again, gotta be quick. But apparently another thing, oh boy. Hollywood premiere of Snow White on March 15th, but the studio won't be rolling out a robust red carpet like it usually does. The afternoon festivities will include a pre-party and screening at the El Capitan Theater with titular stars Zegler and Godot, who plays the evil queen, expected to attend. However, the red carpet will not include the dozens of media outlets usually invited by Disney to interview the cast and creatives at its premieres. Instead, coverage will be limited to photographers and a house crew. The studio did not comment for this story, but the scaled-back plans come amid controversy surrounding the Mark Webb directed film, which hits theaters March 21st. So, yeah, not a good look for this movie. It just goes to show that Disney has absolutely no fucking faith in this pile of shit. So, yeah. Will it make money? Probably, because I don't think around the time there's anything for kids. So they'll probably just dumbass kids will drag their parents to see this piece of shit, and then they'll be like, "Oh wow, this is garbage." Yeah, little Timmy, you dragged me to fucking see this. Well, guess what? You're not getting supper for the next 6 weeks because you dragged me to see the god awful Snow White. Now I'm gonna show you the real Snow White when we get home. Anyway, but yeah. This just tracks because Disney's dumb and they greenlit this shit and now they're like, all right, just shove it out in. We don't want to fucking deal with this shit. Just get rid of it. All right, bye-bye. And they're fucking nightmare fuel gnomes. Yeah, that's what they are. They're not even dwarves. They're gnomes. That's what they look like. Anyway, but speaking of Snow White, Andrew Burnap, what a name, as Jonathan in Disney's live-action Snow White film. There he is. There's your prince. Cool. Looks like every generic white dude imaginable. Great. Yeah. But going from shittiness to greatness, Matt Damon is rocking his rugged look as he steps out to support Ben Affleck at the Accountant 2 premiere, which we know is for the Odyssey because we saw him in that badass beard and historically inaccurate armor getup. So, yeah, way to go, Matt Damon. You're rocking the look. You got that daddy look. You got that DILF look going, and we're more than happy for you. Although Ben Affleck looks like he's on that Ozempic diet, so wish and luck to you, my man. But I'm excited for the Accountant 2. I'm excited for the Odyssey. So we'll see where we go. But speaking of not a good segue, director Gintz Zilbalatis, he shared a new video of the Flowcat with his Oscar. So he made this cute little this cute little video about him winning the Oscar, kind of like what Toho did with Godzilla when he won his Oscar, which is great, very cute, very nice. I'm happy for the makers of this movie because I've heard nothing but great things. Because I might go wow. So way to go, guys. Next up, speaking of animals, we have apparently the Robbie Williams biopic Better Man Monkey is coming to Paramount Plus tomorrow. Are you guys gonna finally watch this movie? Or are you gonna finally be like, yeah, let's give it the due it deserves, or like, I don't give a flying fuck about Robbie Williams? If Liz were here, she would be very excited. She'd probably be like, I'm gonna go watch it again. And yeah, but I might give it a watch. I finally have Paramount Plus, so I might finally do it. But right, dude, if you're watching this, because I know you still are, pay attention now. If you guys don't know, Right Dude is a friend of mine. But Right Dude, get pumped, mark your fucking calendar, because your favorite Studio Ghibli / Hayao Miyazaki movie is coming back to theaters for an exclusive IMAX release for its 4K restoration on March 26th. So get the day off work, go to the theater, fucking 4 hours away, and watch Princess Mononoke in theaters for specifically IMAX. Great stuff. One of the best Studio Ghibli movies. Not my favorite, personally, but definitely one of the best, and an absolutely amazing film in every capacity. So go watch that. But next up, and for our final quick hit, speaking of the Odyssey, going back a little backtracking a little bit, the Odyssey is the 5th Christopher Nolan film shot by cinematographer Hoyte van Hoytema. What a name. And he said, making films with Chris is real filmmaking. It's switching your mind onto a very classic, visceral way of filmmaking. So his last 4 movies have looked amazing. And so I think Van Hoytema is a great cinematographer. Even movies that I didn't particularly care for, like Interstellar and Dunkirk, I thought it still fucking absolutely looked amazing. So I'm stoked for that. So yeah, good luck to them. And again, as I said before, I cannot wait until the Odyssey comes out. But that's it for quick hits, guys. See, I had less than 10 minutes. There you go. Anyway, I gotta turn this off. Sorry if it sounded lower. It sounded really low on my end. But now we're getting into first, I gotta thank you guys for watching. Well, we're not done yet. So like, calm down. We still have DCU Daily to do, obviously. So, but thanks for watching the news segment of our wonderful show. A lot of exciting things, a lot of sad things, but we will be getting into Superman's cinema appearance and all that, CinemaCon thingy. So, yeah, CinemaCon appearance. I can't talk today, guys. It's fine. But don't worry. So don't be leaving just yet. So if you guys want to talk Supermans and Clayfaces and David Zaslav being moron, then fuck yeah, let's fucking go. So, with that, welcome to DCU Daily, guys. We are going to be covering a lot. Well, is it a lot? I guess it's a lot. It's technically a lot. But, first things first, we're going to be getting into some not great business decisions. But before we do that, I want to look at you guys. I want to look at the chat, what you guys have been saying. Caleb, I'll watch the next Avengers films. I'll let them bake their cake. The Night Monkey might as well have been a closer. Hello, Fiona. Nice malfunctioning, John. Yeah, fuck you. Less navel gazing. Then budgets be fickle. Snow White remake is DOA. John, you are forgetting the Minecraft movie. No, I choose the Minecraft movie. Hosea is asking me a question. So hold on, I gotta answer. I've been bad with interacting with the chat, guys. So let me do that real quick. I'm sorry, Jose. I didn't see your thing. I was trying to get through the fucking quick hits fast because Caleb always complains that we fucking take 30 minutes. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to be quick with the quick hits. But Jose is asking, what's been the best movie of the year so far? Now, I don't know the best, but my favorite has been The Monkey. I absolutely fucking adored that movie. I thought it was fantastic. I loved every minute of it. I love Osgood Perkins. I thought the performances were great. I thought it was so fun, but it still had a lot to say. And I think it had a good satirical eye to it, but it was also really funny. A little scary at points, not incredibly, but I thought it was great. That's my favorite of the year. My worst movie of the year is definitely Wolfman. I try not to see shit, but I was like, I wanted to give it. I gave it a chance, and it sucked. So yeah, that's been my. I don't know if it's the best movie of the year, but it's my favorite movie of the year. But thanks for your question. Yeah, Caleb. Historically inaccurate armor is actually a good sign for a better movie. Yeah. We should all try to be better men. And Fiona happy about Princess Mononoke. Hosea, go fucking watch Princess Mononoke, god damn it. You fucking wanker. God damn. But DC clap. Anyway, so I wanted to get through some comments there. But speaking of, we will be getting into DC. So boom, there we go. So hey, look, David Zaslav is a moron. Well, allegedly. So apparently, according to rumors and speculation, David Zaslav is still angry about Joker Folie à Deux, and apparently he's leaning towards replacing Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi with Peter Safran and James Gunn as head of WB Pictures because he's still upset about the Joker sequel being a flop for the studios. I don't think. Okay, so in my opinion, this is like everyone being like Kevin Feige being the head of Lucasfilm in addition to Marvel. If the James Gunn's already getting no sleep enough as it is, so let's not add to that and have him also be the fucking CEO or heads, chairmans, whatever the word is, for fucking WB Pictures. Like, that's not. No, like, if you want to replace them, fine. But it's on top of the fact, like, you're putting way too much trust in, and we'll get to that soon enough. You're putting way too much trust into all your eggs in one basket, essentially. Like, you're putting all your eggs into one basket when you shouldn't be. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for Superman. I am. I'm really excited. But I don't think this is the way to go. They already have a lot on their plates, and I don't think giving them another studio to handle is what they want, nor what they should have, because I think James Gunn wants to. There's a reason he's the creative side. There's a reason he said no at first, because he's like, I'm not a businessman. I'm a director. And I'm not gonna like put my movies on hold to fucking run this. But luckily, Safran has that taken care of. He's a producer, so he knows the business side. And I think that's really a great way to go, because you have this creative side that wants to push for more filmmaking ideas. And then on top of the fact, you have Peter Safran doing like business side. Whether it's succeeding depends on who you ask. But James Gunn's like, I don't want to fucking stop all this. I still want to make my movies. Now, it's entirely, maybe they're interested, but it's highly unlikely knowing what James Gunn has said. But James Gunn has backpedaled in the past about things. Like, he's like, oh yeah, fucking Blue Beetle is going to start everything, and then it didn't. He's backpedaled on a lot of stuff, so it's entirely possible. He's like, oh yeah, no, I was interested from the beginning. Let me do WB Pictures. But I don't think that's the case here. I really don't. But I think this is just another dumb thing for David Zaslav. I think he's just like, he's showing cracks in the armor. I don't really this is just showing, if this is true, this is just showing poor leadership skills. But Caleb saying, David, I hate animation and everything fun, Zaslav. And JB, hey JB, coming in the chat. If Zaslav has that much faith in James Gunn and Peter Safran, I think that says good things about DC so far. But it's also David Zaslav. He is stupid. So that makes me worried, honestly. And Enterprising agreeing, no, leave Gunn and Safran to DC. See if you can poach someone from Apple Plus or some crap, and Snyder Bros will blame Gunn for some reason, as they always do. But yeah, I think that I don't think that's a good idea, and I think Zaslav is like kind of getting on his hind legs, like, I don't know, guys, I don't know. So yeah, I don't agree with this. David Zaslav is being a moron. So yeah, but that's to the shock of no one. But next up, going from the movie side to the video game side, apparently Daniel Simon recently shared a piece of concept art for the Bat Bike. Of course, the bike did become part of Gotham Knights, though Simon does note his vision for an upgrade-like system where an armored shield that folds like bat wings would be an option. Ultimately, it's unclear why the Arkham sequel was scrapped in favor of Gotham Knights. Previously, actor Josh Keaton, who was set to voice Damian Wayne, alleged that the leaks killed the project. However, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier refuted that claim shortly after. Either way, it's a fascinating look at how Batman was being envisioned for the future. I'm really curious with how Damian Wayne would have been incorporated, because at the time of Arkham Knight, yes, Arkham Knight. Well, at least with Arkham City, Tim Drake was the Robin, so I don't know how they would have introduced Damian Wayne. I don't know if he was going to be the next Batman or something. That could have been interesting, but I don't know if that's the case. But it's definitely cool. It's definitely cool looking. I mean, it would have been better than the fucking other movie we got in the Arkham timeline. So, yeah. But it probably would have been shit without Paul Dini's guiding hand, because that's what made the first two games actually really fucking good. And then, he left. And then, look, Arkham Knight sucked. Wow, what a shock. Arkham Origins was so different because it was like not by the same studio and whatnot. So that makes a little bit more sense. But even then, I didn't hate Arkham Origins from what I played of it. This twist was fucking stupid as fuck, because they promised, hey, we're not doing Joker stuff. And what do? Joker stuff. So yeah, that's to the shock of no one, but cool concept art. But speaking of Zaslav, going back to the whole Superman argument and what's upcoming for the DCU, James Gunn's Superman has almost incalculable importance to Warner Brothers Discovery, and there is reported quote-unquote genuine fear of the film studio going the way of 20th Century Fox, which was acquired by Disney in 2019. From one WB veteran, an essential element of the stock price is believing that the IP of DC is meaningful. David Zaslav bet big that they can show the world that the DC IP can have real value. Superman is the first movie. Now, here's the problem with all of that. The word or the words stock price, IP, fucking corporate buzzwords about an art form. That's the big problem. You're looking at it from a business expense, not an art form. But that's the trouble, is they got to look at it as a business expense because that's how they make their money and that's how they can afford their yachts to go to their islands to diddle more kids. So unfortunately, that's what we have to look forward to now, is like shit like this, where it's like we only care about the stock price. We only care about like the IP being meaningful. But hopefully James Gunn is like, yeah, with that, we have to make good movies and have good scripts and good directors. So like, let's try to do that instead of looking at it as a business expense. But it's like, it's a whole headache. It really is at this point, because it's just, I don't know. I'm just annoyed at this point. Like, I'm just sick of like corporate bullshit, essentially. A lot of that sort of thing where it's just like, ugh, why are we doing it like this? This is fucking stupid, guys. And no, yeah, I know Caleb was going on and on about the DCU, but I don't know. It's just like, on the one hand, I understand because it's, for them, it's a business. For them, it's like they got to look at the stock prices and got to look at the money and all that shit. But I'm sick of that shit. Just fucking make a good movie. How about that? Instead of like designing the movie in a lab, you're not, it's, you know what it is? You know what fucking filmmaking is? It's like comparing the origin of Superman to the origin of Homelander. Superman, it just so happened he landed on this planet. He landed on the farm of genuine good people and was raised with a moral belief system that made him the man he was and wants to help people. That's like art in like a that's like filmmaking in an art form. Meanwhile, the corporate side of movies, which is what, you know, movies have become now. Homelander is like his origin, where he was created in the lab. He was given the exact things to build him up into the perfect proper hero, only for him to become a fucking raging psychopath. That's what it is. You either have happenstance of just putting your heart and soul into a movie, it doing well, it being well, and then you have like, oh, we got to think about the stock price. We got to think about this. Got to think about meaningful IPs. We got to do this. We got to do this thing. Checklist. What this, and then it just creates a monster, because that's what Hollywood has become. It's become a monster. It's just become a raging monster they can't control anymore. Now we're very dangerously close to them pushing the fucking reset button, which we've been on that cusp. We've been on that cusp for fucking years. It's what happened in the 60s. We fucking pressed the reset button when we realized that the golden age of Hollywood would not work anymore. Like, that style was not working anymore, and they pushed the reset button. Guess what? We got the 1970s, which is arguably the best decade for film we've ever fucking gotten, because you had an influx of all these new, like, fresh-faced filmmakers wanting to do something unique and different, and they were allowed to do something unique and different most of the time. And we got the new age of Hollywood, and we got all these amazing voices to tell us and like creating these wonderful and amazing Francis Ford Coppola, Martin Scorsese, Sam Peckinpah, Sergio Leone. All these guys wanted to make these amazing movies, and they did, and we got that. And now it feels like these new filmmakers are trying to fucking push that new age of Hollywood into the fucking cusp. But it's just, Hollywood is so fucking preoccupied with their bullshit that we just can't. It's just like, the Robert Eggers of the world are just like pushing. They're pushing. Guys, we gotta fucking try something new, do something new, press the reset button, make it burn, fucking, so it can be a phoenix rising out of the ashes, and we get amazing, original, brilliant movies from people who want to treat this as an art form rather than a business. But the old fart's still in charge, still real man. But I want my 12 yachts and my 16 vacation homes. So fuck you. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. Which means I'm not going to say that joke because I don't want to get canceled and I don't want to get yeeted. So I'll save that joke for another time. But yeah, this is me just ranting. Anyway, JB, push it. Push it real good. I mean, here's the thing about the 80s. I love the 80s. Like, literally an 80s... Two 80s movies are my favorite movies of all time. But the problem with the 80s, that's when the producer side of Hollywood started pushing its ugly head in. And that's kind of the problem. Not denying the greatness of 80s movies, but that's when, like, the producer side was rearing its ugly head. Does that stop the 80s from being awesome? Hell no. But once we were knee deep in the 80s, we were starting to get those producer heavy movies. The 90s were a big point, and then it kind of just went downhill from there. I'm not saying the 2000s or the 21st century movies are bad, but it feels like ever since like the late 90s, we've just kind of dropped off in terms of like filmmaking as an art form, I think. So, but that's just me. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think it needs to be treated like this? Do you think it should be treated on my stance of it being more of an art form? So, yeah. But let's move on to something else. So apparently, the DCU film, speaking of Superman, the film promotion at this year's Kolkata, I'm sorry, Indian viewers if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Film promotion at this year's Kolkata Comic-Con convention in Kolkata, India. So, so we have, so India's ready. Damn, this is really awesome. Like seeing all this. But they were, posing and getting ready and, oh, look, Mickey 17. But yeah, this is really cool. And this is the part where I don't think WB is failing in regards to Superman, because maybe they're pushing for more of the global market. Maybe they're really pushing for less domestic and more global. Because Superman is beloved. I know Superman is beloved in Brazil. That's like a huge thing. So it's entirely possible that like they're trying to reach the global aspects in regards to this character. Because domestically, yeah, people are probably going to go see it. But I think they're pushing the more global angle. The Brazil Comic-Con they did a lot of promotion there. And because I just think that's a smart move. For me personally, I know we've been making fun of their marketing after they fucking dropped the ball majorly with the Super Bowl. However, India has a huge, they have Bollywood, yes. And you could probably go see a Superman-esque movie in Bollywood. They have 23 coming out this year alone. So, and they're crazier and more insane than this will be. But there is the idea of India has a huge market. They're the second most populated country in the world, I think, behind China. So getting them on your side would probably be a really good idea. And domestically, there's like this inner fight between Superman fans. So that might be like, but at the same time, you have the people that are like, oh, Superman, I'm gonna go watch that. Who don't know any better, who don't care about like fucking studio politics and Snyder crap and all that shit. They're like, oh yeah, I know Superman. I like Superman. I'm gonna go see that. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So I think reaching that global audience, I think, would be beneficial. And I think Caleb, you are right. Bollywood is true cinema, and I think Dan and Liz would agree with you. And Enterprising saying, hey, it worked for Aquaman, the first one at least. Yeah, exactly. Getting the global market. So that might be where they're heading with this, is really going for the global market. So that's pretty cool. But next up, well, apparently, this thing called DC Dark Legion is coming. What if I told you that in a parallel universe, Bruce Wayne is evil and flying around with Green Lantern's ring? What if I told you I was playing that version of Bruce Wayne from Andrew Frankel voice? In this universe, DC Dark Legion is coming, and it's going to be an insane game with brilliant voice actors and hyper-imaginative characters that are twisted mashups of classic DC heroes and villains. So it seems like they're going for the dark multiverse. Ew, Harley Quinn. The dark multiverse angle, because that's like Bruce Wayne is evil and flying around with Green Lantern's ring, because that was definitely a dark multiverse story. But this could be cool. And look, there's Dan. There he is. See? He made a cameo. It's fine. And he's like, dude, that's awesome. Congrats. You're welcome. And because he has been on DCU Daily before, Andrew Frankel. So, yeah, I don't know what this is on or it's going to be on. I don't know if it's like a mobile thing or like an actual game. But here's a recording session. But Roger Craig Smith, according to many, the best Sonic, I believe. I think that's Roger Craig Smith. And then if Right Dude was still here, he'd probably say something about that. But he was also, was he Batman or was he Joker in Arkham Origins? I actually don't remember. But anyway, yeah, so it seems like, yeah, he's doing Batman Who Laughs, so it seems like they're doing a dark multiverse thing, which I don't love, because I hated the fucking dark multiverse. It was like a neat concept, but it just, with whole Dark Knight's metal and all that shit, I'm just like, personally, I didn't care for it. If you guys like it, cool, and maybe I'll give it a watch. Caleb, Dan is like the Stanley cameo of the show. Hugo Millie, hello. Let me give you a little bit of beard stroking too. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, I mean, yeah, the multiverse into a hard concept. That's why I said, like, on the surface, it's a cool idea, but I think in execution it just wasn't. It was like, oh, it's a temporary thing because reasons. But yeah, I mean, Roger Craig Smith is fucking undeniably talented, so of course he's gonna do a fucking amazing job with it. I don't want to turn on voice because I don't want us to get like demonetized. But yeah, this is great. Roger Craig Smith, fucking legend. But this is very exciting. So DC Dark Legion, get pumped for that, guys. I don't know what it's gonna be on. One of you guys can check that out. But the next thing, apparently, according to DC Film News, which I don't know where they got their thing from, is saying that the new Clayface movie, which does line up with certain reports of what was being said before, is that Clayface was aiming to film in the summer, and which means this lines up. Now, could they be wrong? Sure. But it seems like they are So it seems like they're going to be filming in June. They're going to start filming in June, which makes sense. It lines up like they have a director now. They might be having a star soon, and that still gives them plenty. That gives them 3 months of more pre-production, getting a star, obviously, whoever that might be, getting supporting actors, letting us know what more of the movie would be about. So it seems like that makes sense. It's not like totally like out of nowhere. Like it's not totally like, oh my god. It's like they're aiming for a September 11th release, which would be about I would imagine. So as we keep saying, Superman had March, April, May, June, July. So that's 5 months. So 5 months after that would be November, which would be a little bit less than a year of special effects, but it might be less because it's going to be a smaller picture, and it's allegedly, I think it was like $40 million for the budget. So it's probably going to be, feels pretty quick. This movie has more steam than most DC folks. Yeah, but the reason for that enterprising is because they already had the script. They already had it on backlog, and James Gunn's like, all right, fucking let's greenlight this shit and make it part of it. And so probably doesn't. It's probably one of those things where Mike Flanagan wrote it. He sent it in. He's like, okay, cool. And then somebody stuffed it under a thing and forgot about it. And then James Gunn's like, oh, this is a good script. Mike Flanagan's fucking amazing. Let's fucking make this shit. So with that, and he pitched them to this 4 years ago. Exactly, Caleb. People are complaining about the Clayface budget. Yeah, like they can make it work, and CGI is even cheaper now, so it can work. And especially if they spend a good amount of time it, then it'll be good. So I imagine this will probably film for 2-3 months. It's smaller. It's a horror movie, aiming to be a horror movie. It's gonna be body horror, gonna be like Substance-esque. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Also, guys, pump up those likes. Come on. And you only got 9 likes on a 20 viewer stream. Anyway, but yeah. This is definitely cool, and I think this makes sense. I don't know if this June is going to be official. I don't think this is going to be official. Like official. It just, in terms of common sense, they have a director, they have their writer. I assume James Watkins is probably going to be doing some uncredited rewrites, or they're getting a script doctor because Mike Flanagan's super busy, probably can't come in and rewrite some stuff. So they're probably going to bring somebody in to rewrite some stuff to maybe either make it work more for their universe or make it work like as much as it can. Like, I don't think it was its own story before, and it probably didn't like take away from any other projects. So that it probably does, like, continuity probably doesn't matter, but they'll probably like tweak some things to make it a little bit more in continuity with the universe. So I'm stoked for it. I know people are pissed that it's like, oh, why don't you make a fucking Wonder Woman movie? They had the script ready, and the last Wonder Woman movie was Wonder Woman 1984, and maybe they're trying to avoid that. I don't think they are, because they have Paradise Lost coming out. Flash literally just came out 3 years ago, and it sucked. Want to avoid that. Cyborg probably wouldn't make a lot of money. Martian Manhunter, like, come on. Like, I love Martian Manhunter. No way would he ever fucking get a movie unless they're really desperate, or, they think some guy can really come in and really do a good job with fucking Martian Manhunter. But I'm stoked for Clayface. That's just because I like Mike Flanagan. I think James Watkins can be a good director. I didn't care for Speak No Evil, but I thought he did an amazing job with Woman in Black. I've heard Eden Lake is really good. I still don't want to watch it, but I've heard it's great. So, yeah, I'm still excited for this. And, before we get into the big story, apparently Peter Craig was the co-writer of the Batman, addressed a fan theory that the Riddler's father was the murdered reporter Edward Elliot. The way that you're reading it would make some people, including Matt Reeves, very happy. Some of that is going to spoil what I know is continuing forward. Craig does not have writing duties on part 2, which is being handled by Reeves and Mattson Tomlin, who I believe did the Terminator show. I think he did the I think it was the showrunner on that. Because he did uncredited rewrites for the first movie. So yeah, I think sorry, I'm just looking him up real quick. But yeah, I think I'm happy for it. I'm stoked for it. Yeah, Terminator 0. He was the showrunner for that. He did uncredited script revisions on the first one, and now he's co-writing the Batman with Matt Reeves. Maybe he can push him into a fucking different direction there. But I think yeah, Caleb. James Gunn is going to make the DCU so predictable. Why is he making the DCU? Yeah, like it's yes, Hugo Millie. James Watkins is directing Clayface. It was confirmed a while back. I don't know about that. I mean, here's the thing. Clayface was made an anti-hero in the Rebirth comics, so they might go like that. So that's what it is, but I don't know. I hope not, but I wouldn't be shocked. But that's not what we're talking about now. What we're talking about now is this. Now, there has been many reports on many different villains in this fucking movie. There have been reports, we're going to get Mr. Freeze played by Giancarlo Esposito. We're going to get Clayface. We're going to get Professor Pig. We're going to get Two-Face. Literally every fucking villain under the sun has been a Court of Owls. We're going to get every fucking thing under the sun, and it's like, who's going to be? However, Edward Elliot. Now, I know that the backstory for Thomas Elliot is different because he murdered his father. He murdered both of his parents, actually, because he was fucking insane. But what they could do properly in this case is really showcase the anti-Batman with Hush. Because it seems like this is pretty much confirming that Hush is going to be a part of this universe. I don't know if he's going to be the villain. I don't know if it's just Thomas Elliot that's going to be introduced in the next movie. But it seems like with Peter Craig, with working with Matt Reeves on the movie, even though he's not writing the sequel, it seems like that's where they were going. And with that, I feel like this is pretty much confirming that Thomas Elliot, at the very least, is going to be in the second movie. Whether he's going to be Hush or not, we don't know. But I feel like this pretty much confirms that he's Hush. Or at least Hush is going to be a villain at some point. Maybe not the next movie, maybe in Batman Part 3. But I think this confirms that he's in it. That Hush is going to be a part of this universe. Yes, they did hint at Hush. I mean, it's just Hush would make sense. And the fact that he hasn't been a villain yet. And I feel like that's refreshing, you know? I know he's not the greatest villain, but it makes sense with like Hush 2 coming out. And, you know, I just think that would make sense. And there's been enough hints in the movie to showcase with that. But I don't know. I feel like this pretty much confirms. Yeah, I hope Hush is different from the Riddler, especially not doing the Riddler twist with like what they did in the fucking movies, which was honestly, the more I think about it, the more dumb it is. Like, I didn't hate the twist when I first watched it, but yeah, not that great of it. Just like, why? It's like, oh, people didn't treat me seriously as Riddler, so I had to fucking become somebody new. It's like, what are you smoking? But yeah, I think this is definitely pretty much confirming that Thomas Elliot is going to appear in future films and that he's probably going to become Hush. I think it would be really cool to see if we introduce Thomas Elliot in Batman Part 2, and then he becomes Hush in Batman Part 3. Because I would hate for them to do an Amazing Spider-Man 2 where he's like revealed immediately and then immediately becomes the villain he's destined to be. Like Harry Osborn gets done, he becomes a villain, and then he becomes Green Goblin. It's like, bro, like, what are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing? Now, if you'll excuse me. I forgot to press mute. I apologize, guys. I thought I pressed mute. Anyway, I am sorry about that, but I've been talking for a while and my nose gets congested when I talk too much. But finally, for today, we are going to be talking about CinemaCon. So apparently, CinemaCon, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. James Gunn and the cast of Superman will be in attendance for WB's panel at CinemaCon, scheduled for April 1st, ironically, that's a typo, from 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Superman will reportedly be a main focus, and James Gunn and the main cast in attendance. So, and the official trailer is speculated to drop then. Now, according to Movie Buff 77, I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't show the full movie, especially not that early. That would be just really dumb of them. I think maybe they'll get like a clip. I think there's going to be like a trailer, and then like maybe a specific trailer that's going to eventually be released, and then they'll get like an official clip, but that won't be released on the internet. So yeah, it seems like that April 1st from 4:30, which, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 4:30 to 6:30 Pacific, 7:30 to 8:30 to 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So this is really exciting. Now, I have a question for you guys. Do you think that they're gonna be release a trailer? Now, what do you guys think? Do you think they're gonna release the full movie? Do you think they're gonna release a clip, or do you think they're gonna release a trailer? Now, maybe I can start a poll. Can I? No. I don't know. Can I? I don't think I could start a poll, but that would have been nice. Maybe. Start a poll. Yeah, I'm gonna. What do you guys think will be shown at CinemaCon? I don't know. I just. Sorry, I'm being a little bit quiet. But anyway, what do you guys think? Now, I'm just curious. I think this is great. We're showing moves. I understand. Like, I know we were upset that that they dropped the ball at the Super Bowl, and that's understandable. It's understandable because it feels like they fucking gypped themselves, and it feels like they screwed up. They really that could have been a real big push, and they didn't do it. The Puppy Bowl was kind of a nice idea, but then they dropped the ball there by just revealing a fucking pick of essentially a fucking boomerang of fucking Guy Gardner, which was funny, but not something you should build up as like a Super Bowl or Super Bowl adjacent clip, So I just think that they screwed up there, but they could be making some deals with this. As I said before, I really like the India stuff. I feel like going for more of the global audience is definitely a high stakes move, especially when fucking the fucking cinema here is dying. So it's like, all right, let's go to India. Let's go to Brazil. Let's go to Japan. Let's go to China. I mean, China's the biggest, obviously, but I don't know if this will get banned or something. I don't know. China's weird fucking rules and shit. They're like committing genocide. Who gives a fuck what they think? But I just think that this is definitely a very, I think this is a really, really good thing. I don't know if we're going to be getting a trailer. Personally, I think they're going to be getting a clip, but we're going to be getting a trailer soon after that's not going to be shown there. That I think to get the best of both worlds, I don't think they're going to be showing the full movie. Definitely not. The full movie, that definitely seems like a stupid move. I don't believe so. But it's going to take place in Las Vegas, and I think it's just I think it's awesome. I do think it's awesome. I think I say I think a lot, don't I? I say I think a lot. But I really like I want to have more faith in the marketing for this movie, because it's just like the Super Bowl thing was so disappointing, and I feel like they haven't, like, the only movie that I think, now, to anybody who watched Mickey 17, that's the only movie I think would have had the Superman trailer, because it's a Warner Brothers movie. But the thing is, since my dad is like habitually late to fucking movies now because he hates watching trailers now, I missed all of them. We like literally got in the theater once the movie started. So let me know, did you guys see a trailer? Again, I saw it in Dolby too, so I think, oh, that would have been even better. So let me know if you saw the Superman trailer, because I have not seen the Superman trailer ever since it was announced that they would be showing it in front of Mufasa and Sonic. Now, unfortunately, the Dolby one, I missed the Superman trailer. But that's the only time I've heard, like, a couple of my friends went to go see some movies that had the Superman trailer in front of it, but I have not seen it, and I tend to be earlier now because I want to try and catch the trailer, because I want to see it on the big screen. That sounds fucking awesome. But I feel like we just haven't gotten the trailer, and it's like, guys, do you want this movie to sell? Fucking show the trailer. Maybe they are, and I'm just not aware of it. And I understand that there's the idea of like the internet is like the thing that pushes, rather than like a preview in a movie theater, because as we all know, I mean, for me, we get like 30 minutes of previews now, and people don't want to fucking sit through that many. And it's like, well, fuck that. I'm going to come in half an hour later and just watch the movie, because it's like the previews aren't worth it when I can go watch them on like YouTube. But I still think that's a way to sell your movie, and like I don't get that. But then I read the stuff, the India Kolkata Comic-Con, I read this, and I'm like, clearly they're making moves. It's just like, maybe they're like, I mean, remember, and like the Sonic 3 trailer didn't come out like until like July, maybe August, and that was like 4 or 5 months before the movie. So maybe, I mean, there was a bunch of postings that's like, today we're going to be getting it in exactly 4 months. So maybe they're waiting for it to be more fresh in people's minds to really push it, because remember, Fall Guy was supposed to come out in like March, I think, of last year, but then it got delayed. But the thing is, they showed the initial trailer like in January or December of the year before, and people forgot about it, and then it bombed. So maybe they just they see something like that, and they're like, well, we don't want that to happen with Superman, so we'll start showing a shit ton of trailers but like 2 or 3 months before the movie. That would make sense, but I still feel like you're kind of missing a little bit of that. But CinemaCon could be a good thing if we are getting an official trailer. I mean, it's say the official trailer is speculated to drop in. It's not official, but it's speculated that it's gonna, that it's gonna show up here. So I want this movie to blow everyone away to win the Oscars. What I'm afraid of is that James Gunn will do an April Fool's joke. Yeah, I think I do think that they kind of blew that. But it's just kind of, it's just kind of weird that it's just like it doesn't seem like they're marketing. I kind of agree with Lenny. She's not here right now, but I kind of agree with her that they kind of drop the ball a lot, and I feel like they're not marketing their movie. I understand you could see it from both ways. You could see it from both ways that Caleb, okay, thanks, Enterprising. You didn't see it in front of Mickey. So Caleb said, I've heard rough things about Mickey. We did do a spoiler-free review yesterday, so if you want to watch that, you can. I really liked the movie. I think it's great. I think it's 8 out of 10. The problem I have with it is that the first act is very poorly edited, and the first half is very sluggish. But outside of that, I think it's, for the most part, very good. Yeah, I hope the marketing picks up, because it's like, I want to see this movie do well, and it feels like they're almost embarrassed when, even though like they're saying that it's like at the utmost fucking importance, because where's the thing? Yeah, like it's at the utmost fucking importance to them, and yet they're fucking barely marketing it. So it's like, what are you doing here? So yeah, I think they need to pick up their fucking balls off the fucking ground and, you know, fucking just get out of their own ass and fucking start marketing this damn movie, because it's like they go, we're gonna wait, and then it's gonna be too late, and then nobody's gonna fucking see your movie, which I don't think is the case, because it's Superman, for fuck's sake. But so Hugo Millie, hi, yeah, James Watkins movie with James, the countryside horror thriller, Speak No Evil. I have definitely a director able to make magic happen with low budget. I kind of agree with that. I didn't care for Speak No Evil, only because I watched the original literally the day before I went to go see. I had no plans to see Speak No Evil either version, but like everyone, after getting inundated with trailers for it, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this movie. It looks like shit and it looks dumb. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to watch this. But then a bunch of my friends were like, no, that's actually really good. So I'm like, okay, I'll watch the original movie. It is a Dutch, what was it? It was Dutch-Danish. Was that it? Or hold on. So speaking of the original Speak No Evil came out in 2022, literally 2 years before this one did. Yes, it is a Danish-Dutch production, yet most of the movie's in English. And it's fucking fantastic. It's like, it's very brutal, and it's very foreign. Like it doesn't hold any punches, and it's like honestly almost depressing to watch, but it's so creepy and atmospheric and brutal that I really loved it. And the remake, I felt, was very Americanized, and I felt that the third act was really silly. And I think James McAvoy, as much as I love him, gave honestly his worst performance. So, but hi Ron. But obviously, if you liked it, that's great. Like, I know all my friends I can see why people like it. I made the grave mistake of watching the original, and I love the original. And then I watched, like, it's obviously people are going to prefer the American version because it's less fucked up than the original one, and that's fine. Like, but I'm a fucked up asshole, so I prefer that shit. Well, yeah, Enterprising, it makes more sense. The Red Band trailer's in front of Mickey 17 because it's a rated R movie, so you could kind of get away with that. Tongues? Yeah, it felt a bit tame. English version of Texas Chainsaw. I'm going to try the old one. I believe the original Speak No Evil is unfortunately you can't, unless you have an AMC Plus subscription, which nobody fucking has. You could buy it on Vudu/Fandango at home, Google Play, and Apple TV. So you can pay for it, or you can find it on the high seas and find it on the ship. But yeah, I think hopefully CinemaCon can do magical things for this movie, because I feel like they've been dropping the ball lately. So hopefully they can finally do that and give us the marketing we deserve for this movie, because that first trailer was so good. It lit the fucking internet on fire, and then it just kind of immediately. They fucked up with the Super Bowl. They're not fucking marketing this movie, but at the same time, they are giving it more of a global push, so that might mean something in the future. Now, unfortunately, there are no fan comments for today. I couldn't find any really good ones, but maybe we can find some more for tomorrow. But that's it for DCU Daily today, guys. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing and commenting and clicking the notification bell. Come on, we got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. But hey, concurrent viewers and likes have matched 14 and 14. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you. But even then, still somehow like twice. Do it. But comment so we can maybe feature you on a future episode. Subscribe so you know when we go live. This was meant to go a little bit later, but I'm like, you know what? I'm ready. Let's do it now. So I decided to do it at 8 o'clock. So make sure to click the notification bell again so you know when we go live. But thank you guys for watching. Now I got to shout you guys out. Ron, Caleb, Hugo Millie, thank you. It's been a while, Hugo Millie. Very nice to see you. Enterprising, JB, you finally caught us live. You usually catch us a little bit after the fact, but Hosea, Fiona, Right Dude, Dan was in the chat for a hot sec. Steven Ortega. Thanks, guys, for watching. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. But that's it. We will see you tomorrow with another DCU Daily. So until then, look up.